Okay, here we are again. I'm trying to wrap up this Art of War here. We've got like 60 pages to go. Having some technical difficulties with my camera. And the last time I was talking about the guy who defeated Spartacus, Marcus, something. It's like one of like the richest men ever. And his story is amazing. I highly advise to read a book called The Bow of Heaven by Andrew Levkoff, or check out a book review I did about that. And let's move on here. Everyone knows the form by which I am victorious, but no one knows the form by which I ensure victory. That's the preparatory stuff behind the scenes. Determining changes as appropriate. Important. Adaptability, be the coyote. If the opposing general is proud, humiliate him. If the general is greedy, bait him. If the general is suspicious, spy on him right back. No constant formation. Water has no constant shape. The ability to gain victory by changing and adapting according to the opponent is called genius. So for me, a little less fire, a little more water. Sometimes you put in some wind, sometimes you put in some fire. The difficulty of armed struggle is to make long distances near and make problems into advantages. Oh, what's the problem? What's the problem? I actually get kind of snippy at people on my team when they come to me with a problem. Like, you're coming to me with a problem, like you want daddy to like tell you everything's going to be okay. I don't need more problems, bro. What's the problem? What's the action? What's the result? Have you thought through that mental thought process? Yes or no? And if you're coming to me with a problem without a solution, I'm going to send you back and you're going to come back with the solution. That's kind of how it is. A lot of times, different styles of management, you have a hands-on or hands-off leader. I'm a hands-off leader for the most part, but I do pick up the shovel. I will sweep the floors. I will clean the toilets. I don't care. I will manage the money. It doesn't matter to me. We get the job done. That's it. No ego aside. Work. We're here to work. So you want people on, I want people on my team that come with results. You don't have to use your brain. You enjoy solving problems. You enjoy finding the answers. That's how the machine grows. Fool opponents into taking it easy, then make haste. Well, I don't really have any opponents. It's just really well, Jesse, how can I be as productive as I can throughout the day? And that's the same with you. And should I be doing this book review and whatever? It doesn't really matter. I want to. I'm choosing to invest my time with this. To mobilize the whole army to struggle for advantage would take way too long. Yet to struggle for advantage with a stripped-down army results in a lack of equipment. And a lot of times in the entrepreneurship, you just need more resources. But do you have results? Do you have a track record? You have a verifiable track record, and that's why having corporate financial statements in place, boom, there's proof. Results. Well, I got results. Need some resources. Well, at that point, let's go get some resources. And you have many options of how to get resources. That's where you got to be careful. An army perishes if it has no equipment, if it has no food, if it has no money. Local guides can be captured or recruited, but it's best to have developed professional scouts. And that's the fall of, I can't believe I remember his name. He's just an amazing titan of history. He's lost in the sands of time. Marcus, his name is. I can't even believe I don't. Rome. He's the invisible hand of Rome. He's like super famous. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, he got a local guide, Gypsy, led him astray, and he had the army that was like going to take over, was it Parthia or Persia? And Rome was not an enemy with Persia, but Marcus wanted it because he wanted the accreditation. He needed other people to recognize his achievements. That's ego, and that's one of the things with me. I want that, that good boy, Jesse, you're a good boy kind of thing, right? Because I don't know who like my actual biological father is, and there's a lot of, this comes into the fatherless, this is important for coming into a lot of kids growing up without fathers and a lot of ending up in jail and all that kind of stuff. So you can prevent that with womentohelpmen.org. Go there, and we're going to set up a system where men can call in. They're going to talk to women. The women are going to kind of exchange their perspective on whatever they want to talk about for an hour. But yeah, so he got led astray, and like it was like a massive Roman army got destroyed, absolutely destroyed. Just destroyed, because they were in the middle of the desert, and the horses from the Persia army, it just circled. They sandstormed them, ran in a circle for a day, and just arrows just killed everyone. Done. A whole army slaughtered. And he died. The history is, he got captured. The history is that they actually brought him in and poured gold over his head because he had gold fever. Who knows if that's actually true or not, but that's what the storybooks of time tell us. Rome did come back with an army and just slaughtered Persia as well, after just out of spite of Rome. Anyways, back to our war. So that's something that I need to be aware of, right? Like, needing that recognition. That's kind of my ego speaking, right? So maybe I just cool the jets on that, and you don't really need it, but because what really matters is the amount of money in my bank account at the end of the day. But I don't really care so much about money as much as I care about the better of the mission. Energy is what battle depends on. So morning energy is keen. Midday energy slumps, evening energy recedes. Therefore, those skilled in the use of arms avoid the keen energy and strike the slumping and receding energy. Those are those who master energy. So, meaning for me, the more midday energy slumps, evening is a good way for me to communicate with people. And Donald Trump, when he had business problems years ago, he always has business problems. Business problems never go away. Business problems are a part of business either way. He went out to lunch with like people for like a year, for dinner and lunch for a year. Boom, just to get the information and build the network that he needed. I've starred this next comment. Standing your ground, awaiting those far away, awaiting the weary in comfort, awaiting the hungry with full stomachs is mastering strength. I got to read that again. Standing your ground, awaiting those far away, awaiting the weary in comfort, awaiting the hungry with full stomachs is mastering strengths. Whatever. Others to come to you while avoiding being induced to go to others. Avoiding confrontation and not attacking great formations is mastering adaptation. Not to face a high hill and not to oppose those with their backs to a hill. When soldiers want to go home, their will cannot be thwarted. A surrounding army must be given a way out. Surround them on 3 sides, leaving one side open to show them a way to life, so they'll retreat. Show them, and that's where they can buy something, a call to action. Show them a way to life so that they will not be in the mood to fight to death. Do not press a desperate enemy. An exhausted animal will still fight. It's a matter of natural law, fact. Adaptations. We got, 50 pages here. I'm trying to wrap this up. Let's see if we do this in 20 minutes. Adaptations means not clinging to fixed methods, mean mentally anchored. Don't be mentally anchored, but changing appropriately according to events, actions, as is suitable. Do not stay in barren or isolated territory. I'm locked in kind of a digital castle by design this past year, and I'm learning a lot. So I'm looking forward to getting out of my digital castle, and so we'll just see what happens. We'll talk to the audience here for a second, because especially with making money online, it's very for me to leave my house, it's actually a disadvantage. It's a pain in the ass most of the time. So you can get a little stir crazy, right? And that's where it's important to have human interaction. It's very, very important. But and you got to balance it, right? So it's the whole juggling act kind of thing. You got to balance all these things. When on surrounded ground, plot. When on deadly ground, fight. Even if you know the configuration of the land, if your mind is inflexible, you will not only fail to take advantage of the ground, but may even be harmed by it. It is important for generals to adapt in appropriate ways. If you can change with the momentum of forces, then the advantage does not change. So the only ones who get hurt are others. Therefore, there is no constant structure. If you can fully comprehend this principle, you can get people to work. Don't die like the dinosaurs, evolve like the cockroach. Don't be eradicated like a wolf, adapt like a coyote. Loyal administrators, very important. That's what I am. End of the day, boom, I'm a loyal administrator. Adaptations are made on the spot as appropriate and cannot be fixed in advance. And now my comment on loyal administrator, that's maybe an anchored philosophy. We'll see as time goes on. Either way, I'm adaptable and a hybrid. I'm like a rover of the baseball team, so I can play any position. I enjoy playing all those positions. In fact, I used to always play rover. Considerations of the intelligent always include both benefit and harm. Those who insist on fighting to the death cannot be made to yield, but they can be struck by ambush. Good generals are not committed to death, yet do not expect to live. They act in accord with events, not quick to anger, not subject to embarrassment when they see possibility. They are like tigers. Otherwise, they shut their doors. Their action and inactions are a matter of strategy, and they cannot be pleased or angered. This one's on maneuvering armies, which I don't have much highlighted here. Okay. It is not necessarily beneficial to have more strength. It is enough to consolidate your power, assess opponents, get people. That is all. Consolidating power. And this is where I'm seeing a massive, or I'll attack emptiness at this point. Teamwork. I'm like, where's the teamwork? Like, I'm just learning this last year, like all these championship teams I've been on, hockey, football, martial arts, like these are real, these are important. Like these are, and I'm just learning not everyone has these experiences, but the team sports, man, like yeah, I want to be around more team orientated leaders versus like people just looking for what they can gain or take from me or from my mind and not provide any valuable perspective in exchange. So really the time with other people, for me, I want to exchange our perspectives as much as possible. And that is very valuable use of time. It's a good investment of time for the high payback. A large group striking a small group is not held in high esteem. What is held in high esteem is when a small group can strike a large group. The individualist without strategy who takes opponents lightly will inevitably become the captive of others. If feelings of appreciation and trust are not established in people's minds from the beginning, they will not form this bond. Cultural arts means humaneness. Martial arts means a law. Those whose soldiers are strong, but whose officers are weak, tarry. Those whose officers are strong, but whose soldiers are weak, fall. I need some strong soldiers, 100%. Once you know the opponent's conditions and also know the advantages of the terrain, you can win in battle. Once you know the opponent's conditions, yes, and you also know the advantages of the terrain, yes, you can win battle. Sweet. I like to win. And if you don't like to win, you're a loser. It's really black and white, right? So this, when the laws of, you don't always have to be, if you are a loser, that's cool too. Like, sure, I'm a loser. Like, it doesn't mean, that's a label. Yeah. If you actually are a loser, you think you are a loser, well, that's okay. That's an area of personal development that you can actually overcome by small victories. And that's where I adopted Tim Ferriss, The Jar of Awesome, that I've been keeping. I'm going to read that at the end of the year, and I'm pretty excited to read that. I've been keeping it over 6 months out of 2018. When the laws of war indicate certain victory, it is surely appropriate to do battle. And that's next week. Next week, I'm doing battle. If the laws of war do not indicate victory, it is appropriate not to do battle. Once one advances without seeking glory, retreats without avoiding blame, protecting people to the benefit of the government as well, thus rendering valuable service to the nation. Like, I'm literally starting jobs in Canada. I'm like, where's the government? sounds like I need some more information. Like, I feel like I should have like some kind of like computer science bursary or something, or that'd make a lot of things go faster and whatever. We'll see what happens. But no, I'm literally creating jobs in Canada, and I think that's a pretty noble thing. I'm glad. I'm actually proud of that, and that's okay to be proud. It's okay to be proud, but just don't let your proudness hold you back. Loyal employees are valuable to a nation. Yeah, they are. When you know what is to others' advantage and what is to your advantage, you are not in danger. And that's why my approach in business, okay, well, what do you need? What does your business need? What are you looking for? Let me get you what you want. In exchange, I will make bags of money. That's kind of how it works. So if you help one person get what they want, they'll help you get what you want. And all this stuff, street smart entrepreneur, I can't tell you how to get 10,000 customers, but I can tell you how to get one. And there's no quick fix to this thing. There's no magic pill. There's no guru one course. There's no one way. This is a Project Life Mastery. Go see Stefan. He's got all the tools you need. His products are amazing. Go follow that guy. Depending on where you are on the journey. I'm more of like a higher perspective, corporate level type guys. Guys around my age, around 37, mid-30s, maybe even older, with bags of money, with experiences. You've got mortgages, you've got kids, but you don't have time. I've got time. And so we mix our resources or whatever. If you're capable of extraordinary adaptation, you can travel this ground. Those who are called the good militarists went into action when it was advantageous, stopped when it was not. When a large, well-organized opponent is about to come to you, how do you deal with it? You first take away what they like, and then they will listen to you. Anything enemies care about is worth capturing. Going by routes they do not expect, attacking where they are not on guard. Take advantage of unpreparedness, lack of foresight. It is necessary to proceed quickly. It won't work if you hesitate. Take advantage of lack of foresight. So if I can assess where people are lacking in foresight and I have the information, that gives me competitive advantage. So most of the time I go into conversations and I have competitive advantage because I usually have more information. Like my homework has already been done before I've even taken a meeting most of the time. And if it's not, well, I'm there to get the information. Enter deeply into enemy territory. Soldiers come to have the determination to fight to the death. They are single-minded. The native rulers cannot beat them. Take care of your health and avoid stress. Consolidate your energy and build up your strength. Maneuver your troops and assess strategies so as to become unfathomable. Consolidate your keenest energy, save up your extra strength, keep your form concealed and your plans secret. Be unfathomable to enemies, waiting for a vulnerable gap to advance upon. Read that again. I'm reading too fast. I'm trying to skip through the material. And that's the thing. When you're trying to speed through material, it's okay. You cover a lot of ground, but you miss some of the gems. Your neural pathways need to process the data. They need to upload it to your brain and then into your real life. So let me read that again. Consolidate your keenest energy. Save up your strength. Keep your form concealed and your plans secret. Be unfathomable to enemies, waiting for a vulnerable gap to advance upon. Put them in a spot where they have no place to go and they will die before fleeing. Warriors exert their full strength. When warriors are in great danger, then they have no fear. When there is nowhere to go, they are firm. When they are deeply involved, they stick to it. If they have no choice, they will fight. And the truth is, I like fighting. So when I perform, it's a performance. It's an art for me. I love it. So, anyways, when people are desperate, they will fight to the death. Alert without being drilled, enlist without being drafted, are friendly without retreats, are trustworthy without commands. Prohibit omens to get rid of doubt, and soldiers will never leave you. Sweet. There's no doubt here. There's no weakness here. Not in this martial arts of money. Ain't nobody got time for that. If you got like weaknesses and whatever, so that's more personal development time that you got to put on individually, and you can overcome those challenges and anxiety and all that kind of stuff, but just not in the martial arts and money here, not or computers. We're here results produce based. But we can put you in the direction, like that's why we're starting womentohelpmen.org for personal development stuff, for personal things you need. For $25, maybe 30, I don't know. But that's a pretty good deal. It's a good value exchange in my opinion. A skillful military operation should be like a swift snake that counters with its tail when someone strikes at its head, counters with its head when someone strikes at its tail, and counters with both head and tail when somebody strikes at its middle. Even people who dislike each other, if in the same boat, will help each other out in trouble. Rex Kwon Do, a comedic relief here. It's a Danny McBride movie when he does like the karate thing. It's like, I love Danny McBride's movies because like I'm embarrassed to watch the scene for him because I just know his type of characters are out there, and there's like some similarities that I have between. It's just jokes. It's just good comedy. It's necessary to allow adaptation to changes, placing soldiers in deadly situations so that they will fight spontaneously, helping each other out like two hands. This is the way to security and victory. To even out bravery and make it uniform is the Tao of organization. So here, 2,000 years ago, they're talking about Taoism, the road of the middle way, the yin-yang, the black-white, 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 penguin logic, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Penguin logic, road of the middle way. If you're ever confused, road of the middle way. Keep your emotional out of peaks, out of valleys. A lot of times I like enjoying operating out of system one in a high. I have an excess amount of energy and positive energy, and that's why I use that. That's just who I am naturally. I use that as the law of attraction to attract people to me, and I can feel the omnipresence over the last couple months, and it actually, like, it's not a trick or whatever, it's just who I am, and it's real at this point. So it's like, get over the whole, is this, whatever, like, that's for another conversation. This is for enlightened people. If the orders are strict and clear, the brave cannot advance by themselves, and the timid cannot shrink back by themselves, so the army is like one man. If you get the advantage on the ground, you can overcome opponents, even with soft, weak troops. How much the more with hard, strong troops? What makes it possible for both strong and weak to be useful is the configuration of the ground. Those skilled in military operations achieve cooperation in a group so that directing the group is like directing a single individual with no other choice. The business of the general is quiet and secret, fair and orderly. If you're quiet and inconspicuous, others will not be able to figure you out. If you are accurate and orderly, others will not be able to disturb you. And that's why I like going off the grid. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want text messages. I don't want people, like, I don't react to other people. I set my CEO agenda for every 2 weeks, and I've got to obtain these mission critical tasks over the next 2 weeks while being adaptable. You can't be just too like stoic. Like, I'm not Marcus Aurelius, bro. I'm Doogsies, right? Doogsies. So I'm still on my climb. And anyways, let's see here. The business of general is quiet and secret, fair and orderly. If you're quiet and inconspicuous, others will not. Wait, we ever read that? His plans are calm and deeply hidden, so no one can figure them out. His regime is fair and orderly, so no one dares take him lightly. It is appropriate to enjoy the final accomplishment with them, but not plan the initial strategy with them. So this might be a bit outdated, what I just talked about. And I like Michael Bisping when he was talking to George St. Pierre, and this is a great example. And I see this all the time. It's like, and I'm talking nerds now. I'm talking nerds. You got to see more than just what's the math. The right side of the brain, the art side, the colors, there's so much wisdom and unknown value there. So being able to combine math, and we're talking like calculus and trigonometry and all this. Because if you know math and you know programming, you know trigonometry, great. You're not this elitist god that, and I understand it's cool to create and use these tools and stuff, but you know the right side of things, and because you know more information than one other doesn't make you better. It makes you more valuable, yes, in the marketplace, makes you a bit better, let's be honest here, but don't be a douchebag. Like, work with people. You can learn so much from people. I learned from Phyllis down the street. I can learn from a homeless person here in Vancouver. I can learn from other drug addicts. I can learn from businessmen. You can learn a lot from other people, and I think it's this kind of resonance that's going to change the world, or the movement moving forward, like the good people. I am a good person. Any conversation I can get into, well, I am a good person, I am a talented person, I have skills, right? I'm here to win without fighting, so if there's a problem, I don't have the problem. It's not me, it's on you. That's a you problem. So do you want to fix that you problem? But I'm not really here to fix you problems unless you're paying me. Like, we're here to work together, but it's got to be through a common goal. You got to put in the work, bro. Anyways, yeah, he unifies the minds, and holy crap, we're almost done here though. I'll keep reading here. I got 4 minutes, see what I can rip through here. Adaptations to different grounds, advantages of the contrary, and expansions, pattern of human feelings and conditions. These must be examined. The ordinary patterns of human feelings all change according to the various types of grounds. When you leave your country and cross the border on a military operation, this is isolated ground. So what happened to the guy in Rome. When it is accessible from all the directions, it is trafficked ground. Cool. When the penetration is deep, that is heavy ground. When the penetration is shallow, that is light ground. Back is to an impassable fastness, surrounding ground. When there is nowhere to go, that is deadly ground. Desperate, they put up a unified defense. When they are fallen into dire straits, they obey completely. Those who do not know the plans of the competitors cannot prepare alliances. Those who do not know the lay of the land cannot maneuver their forces. Those who do not use the local guides cannot take advantage of the ground. The military of an effective rulership must know all these things. If you are able to find out the opponent's plans, take advantage of the ground, and maneuver opponents so that they are helpless, then even a large country cannot assemble enough people to stop you. Cool. If you rely on the force of wealth and strength to hastily attack a large country, your own people resent the suffering this causes and not unite behind you. Yeah, ambitious guys, chill out, man. Remember, give back, give to the people. If you pose an overwhelming military threat to rival nations, their leaders will fear you and not dare to form alliances. Not Jesse, be no threat. Yeah, you don't need to be a threat. Don't threaten anyone. There's no need to. If you do not compete for alliances anywhere, do not foster authority anywhere, but just extend your personal influence. Oh yeah, back to the nerd comment there. If we got to go, join my YouTube channel. But back to the nerd comment. So nerds, like just because you're like, we understand if you're not as vocal as I am, a guy like me can see you plotting or whatever. Like, I'm thinking that way. Just be aware of that as you move on. And honesty is the best policy, I think, relating with Homo sapiens, because I'm offside a lot, but I'm, I am an honest person and a good person. If you do not compete for allies and helpers, then you'll be isolated with little help. Bingo. And that's okay. My strategy is I'd rather 4 quarters than 100 pennies. I'm isolated by design. Do not foster your authority, then people will leave and the country will be weakened. If you lash out in a personal rage, then that'll bring destruction yourself. Yeah, and I've lost a few really good employees before in the past because I just kind of snapped. And everybody has their limits, man. That's why I like working with strong men, because we can snap and it's okay. Like, we understand. And we are done. We are done. There's a couple pages I can get to read here, but that's good. The Art of War, amazing masterpiece. If you've listened to this 2-hour podcast, you are smarter. So good for you. I do suggest pausing and going back, and because I talk really fast and whatever, but I got to get back to business, back to practical matters. And I might actually go walk my cat before I go, but I got some business matters to take care of right now. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you got some feedback for me too, help out, bro. Just help out, contribute. So I give out this information. I would like information and help back. That's how you can help me. All right, peace.